Hi, you are listening to the Father Support Network podcast. This podcast is for single fathers and fathers in general. On this podcast, we educate, inform, guide, encourage, and help fathers navigate the complex challenges of maintaining contact and healthy relationships with their children after separation or divorce. Your host is Dr. Michael Uwangba. Michael Uwangba is a father of three who successfully fought for the right of his children to have their father in their lives.
Hello, and happy Friday to you. I want to comment on something iconic that is happening, something that is being tagged the first dad strike in the world. So on June 11th, fathers are going to be protesting in front of Whitehall here in London, in the United Kingdom. And guess what they're going to be protesting about? They're going to be protesting the poor paternity leave. So in the UK, there's a measly new fathers are just entitled to just a measly 2 weeks paternity leave that you could take in a block or take in 2 separate 1 weeks. And with that, you also, on top of that, you get less minimum wage for that, in comparison to women that get 90% of that wages for the first 6 weeks and get another significant amount for the next 3 weeks. So the UK's statutory paternity leave is considered very poor and miserly compared to other European countries. So this protest is being organized by a group called Dad Shift, a lobby group called Dad Shift. I 100% support that. And I've been looking at it like when we talk about gender equality, more often than not, we equate that to women. Gender is no. So when we talk about gender perspective, even as a scholar, when I look at the scholarly work, when they talk about gender, it's always about women. But no, gender is not synonymous with a woman. Gender means someone's sex. That, if you look at it, the two main ones would be male or female, and in our context, father or mother. So I don't see why one gender should have preferential treatment. So if I tie this all, I've been saying all along how we can see that the inequality that we experience in our society has been institutionalized, and we try to shift blame, talk about put the blame elsewhere, talk about the misogynistic, talk about violence against women, talk about boys, men being violent, and we're not looking at this in a very holistic way. And look at how the absence of a father. Now there are some fathers that voluntarily will be absent from that kid's life. We're not talking about that. We're talking about when the system have been structured in a way, whether deliberate learning, but in this case, it's a deliberate stuff. It's structured in a way where a father, even married couples that are in a single, in the same coupled household, where the father is barely present in the child's formative years. When a child is born, they always believe that the mother is more important. Now, the father is very, very important. So I joined this initiative wholly and call for a radical change in the, first of all, it comes from my mindset. I've dealt with professionals and I've been shocked. I've dealt with social workers. I've dealt with even most times some layman judges, or even some judges in my experience going to the family court, they would housing. So you look at how entrenched this is in the attitude, in the mentality of those people when it comes to gender equality, the role of a father and mother in the life of a child. And I've always maintained, if it takes two to make, it takes two to raise. And a father shouldn't be reduced to just provisioning, going to work and just. It was Chris Rock that said that in a very joking way. The father comes and then there's a joke, there's a skitty, a joke here, stand-up kitty man. But that's besides the point. The point is, when a child, especially newborn babies, and in the kids, for me to be a presence is if not more important than even financial. You could give a child money. You could give a child the best of gifts. You could have the costless of toys, costless of, get the best home, the best. And if your presence is lacking, if you're not present, all of that will mean nothing. All of that will mean nothing. So it's time we need to prioritize, or first of all, change our mentality, bring it to our consciousness that when we talk about gender in this particular case, I don't know if we look at it, we're talking about father and mother, and they should have equal standing. It's important to have equal standing, because when we don't do it, we incentivize. I've been in a situation where a mother, I've seen it, and I've been personally where you see the mother of your child is separated, and they feel like they go the heavenly divine right over the child, and you're just an accessory. And I've seen sometimes where they dismiss or undermine your authority, undermine your role and your in decision making, your role in the life of the child, or in deciding taking important decisions regarding the child's health or the child's education or the child's social life. And all of this come from all of this mentality that has been that we've, as a society, we've created, and then it creates incentive for this. This is going to have a very reverberating, profound impact, even down to the family court, because by the time we're changing these mentality, you see, this will disincentivize some of the women and sometimes men, but in this case women that exploit and weaponize the child against fathers. Fathers need to be treated. Fathers need to say, I'm hands-on with my kids from day when I'm there. I remember when I was having my child, my last child, and I was there throughout the whole medical appointment. But it was quite shocking that when me and the mom were not going through court, that was seen as an abuse, as a control. And you see, the lawyers have you think learned lawyers should have should be more educated on this, but they're presenting that as a control, that you were going to all of this appointment because you're controlling. This is amazing. So the mother has no right, even going to your child's appointment, make sure you're going to appointment, going to this is seen as control. Getting involved in children is seen as abnormal. So we've normalized or diminished the role of a father in the life of the family. And then when we talk about the societal ills, even down to the knife epidemic, when the father is absent, down to the epidemic, what do you think? The father is there to provide guidance. Money or whatever you're providing, shelter doesn't provide guidance. You have to be there physically, you have to be present. And the father and mother is different. I'll give you an example how a father and mother is different. I'm not saying there's some mothers that won't do that. So I was going to pull my daughter in martial arts, and the mom was wary about that. I said, oh no, I don't want them to hit her. And I'm looking at my daughter when we go to the park and how she relates with other people in the park, and the fear and but a father, we be there. Father, we take the child through those perceive danger and see to the child to navigate that, because in life, because you're not preparing the child right for life, because life we have to, you go through dangerous path, you have to go through dangerous situation. How do you, so we end up raising kids that can survive tough times. You end up raising kids that that have that mental toughness or that physical capacity to deal with things. So I think, even beyond paternity, people are looking at it from, we have to look at it conceptually, look at it ideologically, because I think this is just looking at it from the economic perspective, like the paternity pay, the paternity, which is good. Over the years, women have been one, disenfranchised. Women have suffered economically, but in the last 60 or the 100s, we've seen an improvement. But we can't then move one step forward and go two steps backward. We can't say, okay, because you're trying to fight for pay, we need to make it even. It needs to be like, what do we want? We want gender equality. Gender equality means both men and women should have, you could not improve in the life of one. That's going to be counterproductive. That's counterintuitive. So yes, 100% support this, and I'm glad that this is starting from that big level. We start from there until we start looking where the problem comes. We start to see how we institutionally have to uproot those inhibiting laws and those statutory frameworks that are creating problems. Then we can move forward and say, you be a trickle-down effect. I see it in this one is going to be a trickle-down effect. He doesn't have really need to get to this place, but if that's what it takes to provoke that conversation, then yes, I'm for it. So yeah, Holy, I'm happy to hear that. If that's the first down strike, I think more of it. We've been out of other supporter, we're doing this, and we'll start, we'll find a way to join possible and see how that's even you don't get, so that they can see what support the fathers need. And I think again, we also need to put people in positions that have gone through this process, that understand what it is. But yes, I'm happy that we're getting here. And yes, I look forward to our society, to a healthy society, and a healthy society starts from a healthy family, a family where everyone is respected, the father, the mother is respected, and all these socially construed roles won't help nobody. The father can help out in the household, the mom can help in the household, the child needs both. So yes, I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.